I was raised with parents that weren't the best parents. I was neglected most of my life, and my mom, she dealt with mental illness. She still kind of deals with mental issue, and then she also did drugs and alcohol on top of it. And so, being raised, I was told a lot that when she would get drunk, especially, that she didn't want me and that I shouldn't be here and that she would have been better off getting an abortion. And they told me the whole story about how she wanted to get abortion. My dad stopped her, but then my dad was never around. So it was just this constant turmoil childhood where you just didn't really know what you were walking in on. And then into my adolescence, I just kind of, I was raising myself at a young age, and so I just kind of did what I wanted, and I got in lots of trouble. I was the person you did not want your kid to be friends with. And then that led through high school. I got a job, I started making money, and I decided I didn't want to go to college, but I was just really selfish and really just living for myself. And then I got pregnant in my senior year of college, and I thought with the guy that was gonna, be great, but we ended up going our separate ways, and I had to move back in with my parents, and I always said I wouldn't be in that situation. But it was really through my pregnancy is when I first came to know Jesus, or that there had to be more out there. I went into preterm labor with her when I was about 4.5 months along, and so I had to quit my cool job of being a case manager and stay home and just try to keep her from being born. And so in those 4 months, there was a lot of fear, a lot of if there's a God, please keep her safe, keep her in, don't let her come. And she ended up being born 5 months later, and she was happy and healthy, and she was super strong. And when she was born, it was just so peaceful and so meant to be. That was when it actually hit me that there has got to be a God, because she's too perfect and I don't deserve her at all. So I thought I would start to look towards God, but I didn't. I just went back to living my life and raising this baby that I had no skills to raise, and it was her and I against the world. And then I got pregnant again. And this time it was my husband, so he loved Kaylin, my firstborn, a lot, and he just always was there for her. And so we decided that we were going to get married, and with that, his mom wanted us to get married by a pastor. So I met his mom's pastor, and he had this story. He had been in gangs, and he had shot people and done all this stuff, and now he was this guy. And it was really impressive to me that you could change, because I think a lot of me not wanting to know God or get closer to God is because I had so much shame. I had so much shame and regret, and I was just, if you looked at me, it seemed like I had it all going on, but I was just such a mess inside. I didn't really feel like I was important or that I mattered. And so looking at this guy and his story, I was like, I really do want to start looking into who Jesus is. And so through that, I also had a friend who was a Christian, and she was very supportive. And when I told her I was pregnant, she was very good to me. She was kind, and she just didn't judge me, and she just came alongside me and loved me through my sin. And so after we got married, we moved to Colorado Springs, where 3 months into being down here, I was like, we need to get serious about finding a church. And when our baby, Brenna, when she turned 1, that Sunday we walked into Academy Christian. And I was still full of shame. I totally thought I had sinner carved in my head that all Christians could see. And I was so scared to even walk into a church, but I did it. And I remember that day like yesterday. And we got involved, and slowly, Dick Crabtree was our pastor. And so he baptized me, and I got involved and started really going through the Bible. And one of the things is when Dick was asking me to place membership, I told him I was going to read the Bible and get back to him. And he was like, that's great. You should totally read the Bible. But this is a faith, not a, you get all the answers when you read the Bible. And then, so I went ahead and I placed membership. And it was really through the next few months I read the whole Bible. And I feel like that really put a foundation where I got to know who Jesus was, who God was. And then I jumped into Bible studies where I could just continue to learn. And so over my life, though, when I look back, I can totally see that God was there. I just didn't see him, or his plan was different than my plan. And I would say now that I am a believer and I've been in the faith for 20-something years now, that I see people differently, and the shame has come off a little bit. There's still times where I'm triggered, but I just think that I would not be as good of a mom. I would not be as good as a wife, and I really do. I feel called to the mission field and just reaching others for Christ, and so I love going on mission trips and helping kids, and I've totally become an advocate for children and adolescents, and part of it's because of my story before I found Christ.